Going on? Happy, I guess it's Tuesday, and there's still good things going on in the world, and there's bad things going on in the world, right? And we know we can focus on either one, but we can't just focus on the good and not talk about the bad. And that's one of the lessons I've been picking up the last few years because I think about this all the time. I came big time out of the let me turn this up a little bit. I came big time out of the I was deep in the new age movement, manifestation. Who isn't, right? There's value there. There's value there, but I also think a lot of it is, hey, just think happy thoughts and love and light and all this shit. And while that is valuable, it can also be super dangerous because there's not a lot of talk of, hey, we should probably take some action. We should probably form some. They have political action committees. We also need civic action committees and human action committees, right? It's crazy. I think people are waking up now, and the reason I call out the New Age movement is we've had that since when did I guess it kind of started in was it the 20s, Wallace Wattles, Neville Goddard. I love all those guys. Maybe that was more the 50s or 30s, but I love those guys. Neville Goddard's in a class of his own, to be quite honest. But then big time with Louise Hay and big time in the 60s and 70s, creative visualization and all that stuff. And it is powerful. It is very, very powerful. Don't get me wrong. But there does need to be a point in time when we take action, when we speak and when we do things. Otherwise, the people that are doing bad deeds in the world, they're just going to keep doing them, right? And I think about the other statement a lot too. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people he did not exist. And that is a great trick, and something that isn't to be taken lightly. But let me share with you some other thoughts that are on my mind today. I want to read this post to you here that I like this guy. I've mentioned him before, John Joseph Discipline on Instagram, and I'm going to share this quote with you here, or his post with you. I'll probably also do a short about this, but let me just read this to you. I like people that are bold and speak their mind despite the bullshit that's going on in the world. It's that time. Like, we need that right now. This isn't a time to sit back and go, oh, well, I hope all this stuff works itself out, because we saw a government do a major push, a major aggression toward humanity over the last 3 years. And I feel the ones who are paying attention know that they need to be checked. They need to be checked hard, and they need to be exposed, and we need to talk about it, quite frankly. And some of the best people to talk about it are the ones who really don't give a shit what people think about them. Right? This isn't a time to be like, oh, I wonder who I'll offend, right? Because I think we've been trained and conditioned to be kind and nice and tolerant of this bullshit, and it is bullshit. I was going to post a post back when the Balenciaga BS went down, and there's so much being thrown at people right now. It's hard to keep on top of it, right? As a person who is working to share this knowledge and information, right? Be an alternative to the mainstream media. I was going to post a post about Balenciaga back in the day saying, hey, we just moved the line toward, toward what in an aggressive way, right? We pretend like it was a mistake. We sue the production company that put on the photo shoot for $25 million. And then we go through a little dog and pony show, pretend like all of that shit was just an accident. And then we drop the suit and we go back to business as usual. And we just move the line of some disgusting behavior down the road. But let me show you this post with you from John Joseph Discipline. Again, I love people that don't have that have the balls to speak about this. That's what needs to happen in the world. This was from just today, as a matter of fact, very recent. This is John Joseph Discipline on Instagram, and if you're not following him, I recommend you do it. If you are into people speaking their mind about the BS that's happening in our world. So let me just read this to you here. It's short. The fact that punk rock, and again, I'm gonna I may censor this a little bit because of profanity, but he's a dude that speaks his mind, and I highly respect that. Here we go. The fact that punk rock shit the bed and turned into a bunch of government servant bootlickers after claiming to be anti-establishment for so many decades is effing unbelievable. Dudes like Jello, Biafra, and Dead Kennedys posting a meme of an open drawer at the morgue saying, if you don't take this thing, if you don't take the thing, this is where you deserve to be, after putting out a song called Government Flu, exactly about the issue we were dealing with. The government forcing you to take an experimental drug. I started going to punk shows in 1977 in New York City, the infamous Summer of Punk. Then was there for the birth of hardcore 1980. I participated in the motherfucker, been playing in bands since 1981. Bloodcott / Cro-Mags put out records like Age of Quarrel, calling out the corruption of the system. So naturally, when 2020 came along, nothing changed. I stayed the exact same person. And all the bands, hardcore and punk alike, who talked all the shit about unify, fighting the system and justice, had an opportunity in 2020 to call out the tyranny conducted by this government and didn't say a motherfucking word. Even worse, many of the Muppets on the scene went after people that did speak up and became cancel culture pussies. They roared like lions against those who stood up for their rights, and now they're quiet as church mice because the facts have come out. And if you're still doubling down on the bullshit they pulled off, garbage collection is today. Leave all your punk rock hardcore memorabilia at the end of your driveway. I love that shit. That's what we need to have, is people that are bold and willing to speak up about the bullshit, because I also think we've been conditioned for so long to be kind and nice and just tolerant about it. Why else would a government would love for its citizens to be just docile? And I think that's why they mess with the food. I think that's why they put people on all these prescription medications. I think that's why they do the entertainment, the bread and circuses. This is a tale as old as time. Governments love a compliant, docile citizen. They love that shit. And you don't think they're going to do everything in their power to do that? I know they're going to do that. That's why I love people like this that are just bold and don't give a shit about what people think. We have to have more people like that in the world. Let's talk about this. Let me talk about this fact that I don't know how many people still believe in the bullshit. You know, we don't have a meter that indicates that. I do know that the uptake of the you know what isn't that great. I don't think it's that great. And I think it's because of people like John Joseph speaking out about it and others exposing the shit. Now I'll tell you my other theory right here. And this is a new theory that I've been working on, rattling around in my head. I think a lot of this bullshit with the VACCINE was another attempt to divide and conquer us. Really, quite frankly, because the reason I say that is I'm seeing more and more mainstream people. I just saw another video with Megyn Kelly the other day. She's talking about her injury that she had. And I don't think Bongino was regretful of it, of getting it. You know, he's had some health issues on his own, and he's a mainstream, Fox media person. I just don't think that it's coincidence. You think I'm spot on? Yeah. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. I just don't think I can't be quiet. Not now. I just don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of these mainstream people are coming out about it. It's too sketch. It's too sketch. Thank you. Apology accepted. It's too sketch. And I just think there's some funny business going on, because when you look back, their whole government's pretty much their whole MO all the time, let's put black against white. Let's put straight against gay. Let's put pro-war against anti-war. See, when we're fighting ourselves, black ants and red ants in the jar, and they're shaking the jar. When we're fighting ourselves, they just do whatever they want behind the scenes, and they don't even care. I also think this is part of the reasons why I'm speaking up so much, even though it's sometimes uncomfortable and sometimes unpleasant. I don't want to piss people off, but I also think that they have so much money, power, and control wrapped up right now in a nice little bundle that they're to the point where they don't need to worry about what we think. And I'll tell you, if it goes any further, that's why I think this is the last stand for humanity. If it goes any further, we could be in a big mess, because if they get all of their digital stuff done, if they get all of their, bio tracking devices done, all of the passport stuff done, all the CBDCs. We're straight up screwed. And I don't know if enough people realize that. I think people are waking up to it. Fortunately, look what's happening in Germany. They're blocking up streets with all the tractors. They're blocking up streets and showing government who's in charge, right? Government works for the people. Supposed to work for the people. It hasn't been. It's been working for corporations and private central bankers and billionaire philanthropists for a long time, and we're starting to see it, But back to my point here, I do think people are waking up to what they did. The question is how many are waking up and to what degree? But I think they're losing steam in a big way. And it also is kind of worrisome for me because I sometimes think, well, what are they going to do? Like when you back a rat into a corner, dude, you never know what that rat's going to do. I will say this, the rat's going to do everything they can to survive. And that's why I tell people, don't live in fear mode, but watch your back in this world. You never know what's going to pop off. I mean, there's so many things going crazy right now, but I just wanted to share this with you, his post with you. Again, you can follow him at John Joseph Discipline on Instagram. That's where I follow him at. All right, that's it for today. Just a brief checking in with you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for your comments, and I will see you in the next one. Give me a thumbs up if you like this live stream. Check out some of my other content on YouTube. Also follow on social media if you're so inclined at G Mark Phillips everywhere. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you guys. Thanks, Heidi. Thanks for all your comments. Have a great one, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.